All right, so hi everybody. Now we're going to move on to muscle testing and palpation of pectoralis major. So a couple of key things to get right here. Number one, asking consent to your patient before you go ahead and palpate. Is it all right if we palpate? Okay. Okay, so I literally need it quiet on the set. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right, are we ready? All right, so hi, I'm Dr. Nikita Vizniak with the amazing Flixel right here. And we're going to go through and do palpation of pectoralis major and then move on to a muscle test of this. So before you begin, of course, you want to start off with permission to go ahead and have skin-on-skin contact. Is it okay if we do a hands-on evaluation? Yep. So you have firm permission to go ahead and proceed. So in a seated position, pectoralis major is coming from the medial part of the clavicle, the sternum, and then the lower part of the costal cartilage right through here. And you can see well defined all the way around here on him. If you go ahead and contract a little bit, you can see the different fibers and heads contract. If he relaxes and we bring the arm out, we realize that this part right here that I'm picking up of the anterior axillary fold, all of this is pectoralis major running deep to the deltoid and going into that lateral lip of the bicipital groove. Okay? Palpation in a seated position is a little bit difficult. You can do it, so you can run through the entire muscle like this, rolling through different muscle bellies. If he was of the female gender, you would want to make sure and be extra careful with that. You might actually have a female patient take and even cover her breast up like this or reach across from the opposite side and just move it so you have a firm border to move around right there. But either way, you can palpate that muscle, and again, if you have good patient rapport, you can get in there male or female. So, on to the muscle test. The simple action of this muscle is what? Horizontal adduction is by far the major action. So go ahead and give us an example of that. Bring your arms across like this, okay? But it also helps you do flexion of the shoulder as well, okay? So bringing the arm up. I'm going to resist. You're going to lift your arm. So as he lifts, you can see engagement of the pecs, but they engage, keep going all the way up. So lift up, 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 up. You reach a certain point, keep going all the way up, 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 up. And all of a sudden, boom, right there, they shut off a little bit. Once you reach a certain point of flexion, they're now getting lengthened in that position. So please be aware of that. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the muscle test of the different regions. For this, the easiest way to do it, so you have good biomechanical advantage, is with the patient laying in a supine position. So we'll get our patient laying supine. Also for palpation, this is usually the easier way to do it just because the person will be more relaxed. You can see he has slightly anteriorly rotated shoulders. He is a almost professional level, well, university level wrestler here, right? So we're dealing with pretty elite level athlete. So if you can, you want him to lay back as much as possible, but this might just be their resting position. So you can see from the camera up above how we'll be palpating through. Same palpation as before. Off of the medial part of the clavicle, through the sternum, inferior angle, well I shouldn't say inferior angle, lower costal cartilage right through here, and then you can actually work your way through all of that muscle fiber, okay? Now this Flixel is short of actually using anabolic steroids or anything like that, but if you get people who use regular vitamin S, you can see pecs that are like 2 times, 3 times as thick as this. So if you can roll and reinforce your fingers, you can actually get more through the muscle right there. Another option you have is to slide underneath and pick it up, and if I pick up from underneath, I can actually go and pinch that muscle all the way through here. You can follow it through its insertion point to that lateral lip of the bicipital groove, and that'll get you through the basics of covering origin and insertion and course of the muscle. For the muscle test, you have different fibers, and it varies which fibers you're checking depending upon which way you pull with this arm. Just like if you were to do an incline, decline, or flat bench press, it'll work different parts of the muscle. So in general, if I put his arm up in this position right here, I will be checking the lower fibers of his pecs, and I'm pulling up in this direction with my nice soft hands like this. You can stabilize opposite side of the chest if you want. If you're worried about breast contact, they can put their hand over top. I'm going to try and pull you this way. Just give me 1 second here. I'm going to try and pull you this way. Don't let me do it. So hold, 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 and relax. So basically, it's my core body against his pecs right there. So it's easy for me to hold that position, and you can see on the upper camera how that actually engaged that part of the muscle fibers, lower part. Okay, middle part is going to be right through here, so I'm going to go straight horizontal. If I didn't stabilize, so Flexel, hold this one, and I'm going to pull you this way. Okay, so don't let me do it. So hold. What happens? He's strong enough and I'm strong enough that his whole body just tips. So you have to stabilize across to the opposite shoulder if you want. So stabilizing there. I'm going to try and pull you this way. Don't let me do it. So hold, 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 and relax. And again, you can see I'm working in my strike zone using a long lever to make this happen. If you want to check the upper fibers, so clavicular head, now I'm going to pull down in this direction. Realize, of course, this is also going to engage, just like the other ones, anterior deltoid, but also selectively coracobrachialis in this way. So I'm going to pull you down this way. Again, don't let me do it. So hold that position, hold strong for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And you can see good engagement through the muscle there. So basic introduction for origin insertion and muscle testing for pectoralis major. Fantastic. Let's all get a big woohoo cheer at the end. Oh yeah. Okay. Special round of applause for our model right here. Thank you very much, Flixel. Super good stuff. Any questions? With the orientation to begin with, this is going to be the clavicle up here across the top. This is the sternum coming down the center for the origination point of pectoralis major, running all the way around to its insertion point, running, well, it would be deep to the deltoid here, inserting on the lateral lip of the bicipital groove. And if we peel this back, I just want you to visualize the size of pectoralis major. Okay, just visualize the size of pectoralis major. And then we'll go ahead and peel it back. And we have a massive pectoralis minor coming off of the coracoid process right here and fanning out from ribs 2, 3, 4, and 5 all the way down to this location here. So a huge, huge pectoralis minor. This is the size of my hand at 6 feet tall, so that's how big the pectoralis minor is in relation to that. That's a big muscle. Most people think of it as a relatively small muscle, roughly that size, a lot bigger in variation. A couple of other interesting things we can see here at this location. Of course, coracoid process. Peeling back here, this is the biceps short head going up to that coracoid process, and the biceps long head wrapped in the glenohumeral joint capsule, diving deep to the supraglenoid tubercle we'll see later on. And further down, serratus anterior, but we'll clean that up and have a look later. So neat variation of pectoralis minor, different than the textbooks typically show you.